Welcome back to Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Last time we played the first half of Raise the Standard. Now it's time for the second, or Stage 2 as the save screen calls it. And we don't get a cutscene to start this, we jump straight into the preparations again. So here we are in Raise the Standard Part 2. This map is a little different. As you can see, it's a defeat boss chapter, and it's a very wide open map with a lot of cavalry. There aren't that many maps in Radiant Dawn that are like this, but yeah, we'll be fighting a lot of cavalry, so Micaiah's Thani might be useful here. We're also dealing with ballistas for the first time, as you can see. Now, one thing that I really like about Radiant Dawn over Path of Radiance, they actually tell you how much might ballistas have. So, 18 might, and also the number of remaining bolts. So, very useful to know that. Now, this is the defeat boss map. We have our boss here, Laverton. And thankfully, you're guaranteed to get this Paragon Scroll. So in Path of Radiance, Paragon was exclusive to Joffrey and Astrid. Not anymore. We'll be seeing that in the next base. Speaking of things we'll be seeing in the next base, here is Fiona. Her stats are pretty laughably awful, even for a level 9 first tier. Just to show something, her generic knights are kind of better than her. Yeah, we have these Marado-kins over here. And Fiona. So, Fiona. Yeah, we'll see what happens with her later in this map. We also have a priest here with a heal staff, and an Elfire mage. Let me just quickly cycle through the enemies here. There's quite a lot of them on the map. There's actually over 10 more enemies on hard as compared to easy. Well, English, Japanese hard. In fact, I'm pretty sure that on, like, this game's hard mode / Japanese Maniac, there's the exact same number of enemies. Alright, there's a red gem here. You're pretty much guaranteed to get that. That sells for exactly what it says, but you might want to consider saving that for the end of Part 1. Like I said, the Part 3 party is really strapped for cash, and there is a way to transfer items from Part 1 to Part 3. So, my plan here is, once again, I think I'm not going to bring Meg. So, plan here is, Edward's gonna go, nope, Edward's gonna go, I think, over here. I might as well bring Leonardo because he can at least use the ballistas. Aaron and Taroniu will tank this bridge. An unarmed Taroniu can choke point this bridge very well, and also Jill is great at choke pointing that bridge too. I used her on hard mode even though she didn't have transfers to choke point that area. Speaking of Jill, her job here, it's either her or VOLUG, is gonna be taking out that ballista, because if I don't take out that ballista on turn 1, Micaiah is in serious trouble. So, yeah, we do not want that to happen. Got a couple of enemies that we want to break through before we take out the ballista, though. Zihart can move 7 spaces. I guess if I put Zihart here, he might be able to kill off that fighter. And then I can put, where's Nolan? Nolan is there, he's being blocked by the palisade fence. Nolan may be able to... Edward can try and take that guy. Unfortunately, there are 2 knights up there. So my plan for this map is to rush someone like Volug or Soth over here and break through these enemies as quickly as possible for reasons that you'll be seeing later. In fact, I can hint at those reasons now. As you can see, Micaiah can talk to Fiona, so she's going to need to go that way. Before I start, treasure. So the treasure in this chapter is a Master Seal, and if I can get my map up, the Master Seal it's right here. So yeah, in this area of 4, and that's the only treasure on this map, so no coins this time. I might as well convoy that arm scroll, because it's not like we're going to need it here, and I can actually swap around some weapons, so I might as well, Aaron, you go ahead and take that. You swap the hammer over to Nolan. Didn't I get a sword as well? I'm sure I got a sword. Yeah, Jill got the sword, so, Zihart can take that. Edward has enough swords already. So, yeah, you take that. And as far as other items go, I think that's okay. So yeah, unlike the multi-part chapter in Path of Radiance, you actually do get a chance to restock everyone's weapons in between parts. Might as well save here, so I don't have to do preparations over again. Now let's move. Still no cutscenes, but we will be getting one eventually. And for some reason, this map has Hymn of the Righteous as its map theme. I'm kind of confused as to why. Because it sounds like too calming of a song for this kind of chapter, like our first battle as a real liberation army, but I won't question the developers here, I guess. Still have this theme, though. I like how you can see the, like the guardhouse we just passed in the background. And the river looks pretty nice. I mean, I like Hymn of the Righteous as a song, but I don't think it fits this map very well. I mean, I'm definitely glad not to hear. In fact, I've totally forgot what the name of that other song is. I might as well flash that name up on the screen. I think it's... Actually, I have no idea. It's definitely not Road of Sorrow. That's something else. It's definitely not Unending Task. I remember the names of a few songs in this game, but not all of them. You know, I should probably start my choke pointing here. Although, firstly, Toronio can't quite get to where I need to go. So I'll need to actually shove Aaron, and there aren't many people who are capable of doing that. I'm pretty sure... Actually, yeah, if I put Aaron here, this area is still choke pointed. And I can javelin this guy for not much of an effect, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, I figured that would happen. I'm okay with that. Because, yeah, choke pointing over here is what I really wanted to do. And let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and whack this guy with Jill. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that Jill needs a forged iron axe to actually double things. She really should have gained some speed or strength earlier. I really hope she's not the one who ends up getting RNG screwed in this playthrough. There's always got to be someone. After doing that, I usually like to have Jill hover around this bridge and just pick off any stragglers. Okay, might as well have Z-Hut take this guy out. And I can do it with an iron sword, so I might as well do it with an iron sword. Yeah, Z-Hut's face looks a little bit... Like, I admit that the face graphics in Radiant Dawn don't look the best. Also, there's the Swordmaster victory animation. I actually really like the Swordmaster victory animation in this game. You guys are stuck in there for the moment. And yeah, I want to have VOLUG rush up here, as well as Soth. And Micaiah, but she won't be rushing, hopefully. Otherwise, those knights would just destroy her. We'll need to get her into a good position, though, because let's just say she'll be important over there later. Ileana might as well provide some range support. And here's the other infamous line from Part 1. Hornet hares. At this rate, they'll breach our lines before we can stop them. Sorry, that's just how I imagine this guy talking. Oh no! They've released my greatest enemy, Herp Dirt Villagers! Though, really, I shouldn't be making fun of children being used as hostages. Unfortunately, we're nowhere near close to them. We won't be able to use sacrifice to save him this time. Well, Toronio's already done that, but I guess everyone else can do that too. His smile looks so weird when he's talking. Of course he'd do that! Classic villain tactic. Get everyone to lower their weapons and then kill the prisoners anyway. A generic bandit did that back in Path of Radiance, so congratulations! You've been beaten at evil plans by a generic bandit. How does that make you feel about yourself? But, as should be obvious, Fiona's gonna switch sides now. Not just her though, her knights as well. And now we have some other people to protect. And that's why Micaiah could talk to Fiona. But yeah, they've turned into NPCs, and they're going to have a whole battalion of cavalry chasing after them. And they're all pretty weak and are carrying others, so yeah, this gets annoying. And this is why I wanted to clear the path quickly, because not just do I want to get to them quickly, but also because, well, I'm mostly having horrible hard mode flashbacks. I'll talk about those when I get to my turn. Yeah, this bridge gets very crowded with cavalry, as you can see here. Kind of weird, but I won't question it. Is this the first time we've seen... No, wait, there was a Cavalier boss back in Chapter 1-3. But this is the first time we've seen, like, a melee cavalry attack animation, and it's pretty awesome. Basically, they charge right into battle. This looks particularly cool in Part 2 for a certain chapter, but we'll cover that later. I like a lot of the animations in this game. But yeah, looking at them like on a full HD screen, the horses do look a little bit not that great. Now, the good news is that Fiona has Savior, so her stats are not being lowered by carrying a Traveler. The bad news is that her stats are horrendous even with Savior, especially on hard mode, and the main reason why I like breaking through here as quickly as possible is that, so on hard mode, this guy blocking the bridge here is a Myrmidon who is guaranteed to one-round kill Fiona, and let's just say that may have happened to me in one attempt at this chapter on hard mode. Also, by the way, yeah, Fiona dying here is a game over, so don't let her die. I definitely want to get rid of you. I'm not sure if that other Myrmidon can kill Fiona on this mode, but it's kind of worrying me. I like how you can see the Ballista in the background too. But yeah, on hard mode, you really want to rush this bridge and kill the enemy guarding it quickly, because otherwise, Fiona is kind of an idiot, and her AI will attack that Myrmidon and die. So, like I said, that might have happened to me in one of my attempts at this. Just might have. I'm definitely not still bitter about it or anything. It's another reason why I kind of feel like this game's hard mode is not that well designed. An NPC that you have to protect is guaranteed to die to a certain enemy on the second turn unless you're really, really fast. I mean, maybe that's what they were going for, but I still feel like that's pretty, not exactly that great. Now, some of you guys have javelins, so I do like equipping ranged weapons on Aaron, though I also have unarmed Tyronio, who's a magnet for ranged weapons anyway. We need to watch out a little bit for the second Ballista, but it's usually not that big of a deal unless we get very, very close. The boss will move when we get in range of him. Thankfully, he doesn't chase down Fiona. If he did, it would be very difficult to save her, but he doesn't. And let me just show you how ridiculous Tyronio is at this point in the game. For now, I might not do that. And I'm not going to do that, because these guys could easily just attack Ileana and Kanto away repeatedly, so let's, like I said, let's not do that. Quite a few weapons here. Maybe I should have equipped Nox, because Aaron could... I don't know if he'll suffer death by awesomeness here. There's a slight possibility that he might. I suppose if this is the farthest that Makai can go. Don't even need to use Fanny here. So let's just not do that. And use regular light. Light and Fanny I find is really all Makai needs in part 1. I think it's only the Axe Knights who have that horned helmet. Well, defense is okay, but as you can see, Micaiah's speed growth is starting to average out. I got a little blessed with her earlier in the game. It doesn't seem like it's going to last. Alright, I kind of want Edward and Nolan to book it towards these guys at this point. So, let's, Leonardo hasn't done anything for a while. Let's have him attack. Thankfully he has enough accuracy to do this. So this is mostly going to be a battle on two fronts. On the one front, we're going to be guarding this bridge and choke-pointing a whole ton of Cavaliers. And on the other front, we're going to be protecting the NPCs and... finally, you can use skill bows. And staying in these thickets to kind of tank the attacks of these cavalry. They will be sending more cavalry after them, and I really hope that Myrmidon doesn't kill Fiona, but we'll see. Z-Hunt does still have a wind edge. I could do that if I really wanted to. Guess I could go ahead and do that. And where am I more likely to be taking damage? This is a situation where only having one healer is actually kind of bad. I actually find that it's very difficult to save all the NPCs in this chapter, so all the Murado Knights plus the NPCs they're carrying are worth bonus experience. But like I said, it's almost impossible to save them all unless you're incredibly lucky. And here's why I probably should have equipped Nox. Because at least I'd have a chance of critting some of these guys. Not going for Teroryu, that's kind of surprising. At least we've got an Aaron and Laura support going here, even though it's not really affecting that much. Well, you're going for Teroryu. And you are. So, again, I really question the AI in this game sometimes. I was hoping the sword calves would attack Teroryu too. Now, here's where enemies cantering away gets incredibly frustrating, because they'll just attack you and then they'll run, and then they'll just roadblock this bridge and then run all the way back to this wide open plain. Please don't attack Fiona, thank you. Yeah, they do seem to be aware of Savior, so they're not as likely to attack her, but, yeah, Fiona, thankfully she's not an idiot, in this run. I think they're programmed to only attack if their path is directly blocked. Don't know why you attack, though. And that's not a waste of experience, because it goes into bonus experience, but still. I have a feeling you block some of the spaces that Edward and Nolan would want to go to. You are. That's unfortunate. And it seems like the developers were fully aware that you'd probably send VOLUG this way, so they put some fire mages here. I hope VOLKE will be going. Why do I keep calling him VOLKE? It's really annoying. I know that his Japanese name was like VOLUG or something, this starting with an O. I like VOLUG more as a name, but it's easy to confuse with VOLKE. At this point, VOLKE might be my most requested dagger user for heroes. Well, Soft can get past the roadblock of Murado Knights. Yeah, just to mention that on my hard mode playthrough, the Knights didn't get this far at all. They didn't get anywhere nearly this far. But yeah, if you don't kill the one blocking the bridge, there's a very significant chance that Fiona might attack him, and that usually results in a very significant chance of Fiona dying. Now let's see. Oh, okay, that's annoying. So this ballista won't help you save the Murado Knights because ballistas can't turn in this game. So it's stuck in one very specific firing arc, and it doesn't even have that much in the way of attack power. I guess I can do this, and her support still works. She's like going, "Yay! You cranked that ballista!" Still not quite enough, so I will have to use Jill. In fact, Jill will probably just one-round you, because that's just how awesome she is. This is pretty much Jill experience Bonanza at this point. I usually like to choke point and then have Jill just keep flying around and taking out these things from behind. Though in this case, it's going to be a little bit of an experience Bonanza for Aaron as well. Later on, I might just have Teroryu kill some of them, because they are a little annoying and they tend to bog you down a lot. I guess I can do this. A dead can still trigger with ranged swords in this game, I believe. Astra can't, but in this game, I think every mastery skill can't activate at range. Well, with the obvious exception of things like mastery skills for snipers. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't need to worry about ranged swords not being able to trigger... Well, I mean, they could trigger things I forget from the last game. What am I talking about? Generic soldier levels up once again. Actually getting close to max skill, which is good. Because as I said in his bio, Aaron is one of the people who I really like to give bonus experience to. Yeah, I'm gonna still keep you unequipped. Because it helps fix his speed and make up for one of his main flaws. And yeah, that is ending phase time. So I just have to pray that these guys don't die. Oh, yeah, you're... No, you're not dead! Nice, you didn't get doubled, you may be dead now. At least you got to attack back, but you are dead. So, I'm not going to be going for full NPC survival in most of these maps. I'm going to try and save most of the civilians, but I can't make that promise for the Murado Knights. Because as I said, it's extremely unlikely that you'll save all of them. I'd like to see someone try and do it, but it's very, very unlikely. Because they don't even get a phase before the enemies are already on them. Still in support range though, which is nice. Kind of like the way that horses rear up when they throw javelins. That makes me sound like the horse is throwing a javelin. Which, you know, to be fair, in a certain show, they probably could do that. Doubling and critical? That's surprising. But that is a steel lance, so yeah. And... is that... can you use Silver Lance now? Maybe. Okay, Aaron's kind of in trouble here, but... I'm surprised to see him doubling these guys. It's mostly due to their steel lances, but still. It's rare you see Aaron double anything. Okay, Murado Knights, don't be dumb. Oh, she doesn't auto-talk to Micaiah. That's a shame. I was kind of wishing that she did. Please don't block Micaiah from being able to talk to... okay, Micaiah can still talk to her, that's good. So, one thing that's kind of cool about these guys is that if one of the villagers gets dropped, another knight, if they're free, will pick them up, which, like I said, it's pretty cool. But... again, we have knights blocking the way. So I can't get my people into positions where I want them to be. Because there are a couple more knights that may end up moving out, so you'll need to watch out for that. And you'll also need to watch out for the fact that because this is defeat boss chapter, this will just immediately end when the boss dies, and he will move. Okay, might want to take out the other one because of VOLUG. Let me just quickly check if you guys soft leveled up his knives, which is kind of cool, but all the knives that he can use at this point in the game. Beast Killer is only D-ranked? For how good it is, it being D-ranked seems way too low. Then again, a lot of Fire Emblem games make hand axes E-ranked, so... yeah. That's fantastic, I'll definitely go for that. I was fully prepared for an epic battle up in this front to save the Murado Knights, which is what happened on my hard file. I know that I keep mentioning my hard file, but it is the most recent time that I played this game, and it was an interesting experience. But yeah, I had a really epic battle up here. It involved a lot of people, like Edward and Nolan were up here, VOLUG was up here. Didn't call him VOLKE that time, which is good. Actually, if you hit, I'm pretty sure the mage won't kill you. And cancel. So yeah, glad that I gave that to Edward again. Edward here is so much better than he was on my hard file. But it's also because we have a lot more experience than we would have on our hard as well. Let me just quickly... that is not good. And I'm pretty sure that you're at no risk of actually killing anyone if I leave you alive this turn, so I'm going to leave you alive this turn. Now, finally, let's do this. You don't actually have to talk to Fiona in this chapter. And that doesn't even recruit her, she's still an NPC, sadly, so she is not cured of NPC-itis. Though her NPC-itis isn't that bad compared to some people. Yeah. I'd like to think of an example from, Oh, okay, so in this game, there is a very, very big example of NPC-itis that you'll be seeing later on, but... And I guess, yeah, Fiona definitely has NPC-itis at this point, because like I said, on hard mode, she will very, very easily kill herself against that movement on a hill quickly. NPCs. I guess it's because, like, the majority of the time, NPCs run off the same AI that enemies do in Fire Emblem, and enemies are pretty suicidal in most games, except for Fates. They're not really that suicidal in Fates. The Wind Edge guy is still alive. That's a problem. Although, I can get rid of him with Toronio if I really want to. So I want to heal Aaron, but with the Wind Edge guy still around. Speaking of Wind Edges... Okay, the chance of Z-Heart getting either Adept or critting there is very high. Can Ileana do something instead? She can, but her hit rate is shaky. Okay, now Aaron should be able to finish him. Yes, if he hits. If he hits. Okay, I don't have Soft to try and go for Master Seal here, I just realized. Not that I really need it. I mean, I feel like there are more Master Seals in Part 1 than I'll ever need, but at least they make for good. I mean, I could... If worse comes to worse, I could transfer one of them to Part 3 as Self-Order. Oh, right. I think I do need to do the assumption. Let me quickly check as well. B. Yeah, so you can't use the Silver Lance yet. You are not, Pala can use a Silver Lance at base of the Pegasus Sisters from FE3. Also, Toronio looks like a generic general, just with white armor. 1 experience. This is why I don't like having him equip weapons. He gets the exact same amount of experience from tanking something unequipped than he does, as he does from actually fighting with weapons. So, yeah. Toronio is a character in this game who I don't like. It's probably because I like Aaron a lot more than most people do, but I don't like Toronio nearly as much as most people do in this game. Oh, your range is... This is the ballista, because, yeah. This is going better than I thought it would, for now. 5 speed versus... you do get doubled by that Fire Mage, so you are at risk of killing someone if I leave you alive, but I still don't think that's worth risking VOLKE dying. Even though the chances of VOLKE dying are pretty low, if VOLUG misses either of those... Yeah, I would have him go and duck in the bushes there, but I need to be careful that he doesn't lure any extra Fire Mages. I mean, I could try and kill all the enemies in this map for experience, but it's not really all that likely because the boss is going to get lured long before anyone else gets lured. Thought you'd do that. And yeah, that is why I didn't go for the attack last turn. Hi. I'm so glad that you're on a killer ballista. Bad flashbacks to Path of Radiance Chapter 25, which... What the heck are you guys doing? Please tell me you're not being stupid. Glad that the mage didn't go for you, though. Please tell me there's some heavy reinforcements. Okay, a whole bunch of damn reinforcements spawning. That was almost a sentence. I think on my hard file, these knights all went after the Murado knights because they were still active at this point in this area. So, yeah, that was interesting. I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm giving Edward a lot of favoritism at this point, but he is a little behind on level compared to Nolan. Nice dodge there. We're slowly getting a taste of what Edward will become later in the game. And let's see. Something that I do like doing here sometimes is luring in all the enemies one by one. That might result, like, with Jill. Having her to, quote, Sly once again, buzz around like a fly around this area. Let me quickly check the ballista before I put Laura there. Seems like that is one of the few spaces the ballista can't shoot to. Good. And rest in peace, Laura's first heal staff. How is your staff rank? It's capped, so I can take discipline off of you, because there's no real reason to have it still on you at this point. I remember you two, but... Okay, I'm gonna put Jill here. Just to push her over the edge of a level up. And as for you guys, I might try luring you down here with Aaron, maybe also Toroniu. Let's not equip something there. And Ileana is going to just hide down here. Let me quickly check the ballista's range again. Good. She's just going to hide down here, as is Leonardo. I sort of wanted Nakai to fight more things in this chapter. Oh, she can move over the river. That's cool. This is actually another reason why cavalry kind of suffer in this game, because there's a lot, well, at least compared to Path of Radiance, there's a lot more terrain that's impassable to cavalry. So, there's that. Like rivers. You'll see later on why rivers are a bad thing in this game. Well, here come these guys, which means probably more experience for me. That would be scary if Wyvern Riders were still weak to bows, but they're not. This would also be scary if Wyvern Riders were weak to bows, but they're not. Though 9 damage is still not bad. Yeah. Not doubling someone with a steel bow? That's kind of surprising. Jill seems to want to become a tank in this run. She's supposed to be one of the less tanky, more speedy Wyvern Riders. I definitely appreciate that. I will need to retreat and heal her, though. Speaking of retreating, that guy just took 1 space backwards and dodged her hand axe. Yeah, they like to just hang around the front part of the map, the Murado Knights. Please don't spawn reinforcements down there with their reinforcements there. I think these were the ones who started harassing the Murado Knights in my hard mode run. However, you're all Axe Cavaliers, so I can just use the tried and true tactic of putting Edward on a forest, and he will hopefully do well. Let's just put Nolan there for support, literally, and still not actually kill you. Dang it. And miss a 78 under true hit. Good start. Very, very good start. Still won't actually kill that guy. I think I'll need to kill one of them, because otherwise Edward might be in danger if he gets hit by all 3. You can see how quickly bronze knives dropped off in usefulness. At this point, they're only really good for killing mages. If I'm gonna kill off one of them, it should probably be the hand axe, because you'll be less likely to die on the enemy phase. And that is exactly why I didn't have you fight the mage last turn. Though I know that's a kill animation, so I knew that second attack hits. Wait a minute. There's no chance VOLUG is going to die here, is there? We both have 24 attack versus his 13. He could actually die here if I get unlucky. What's his avoid like? 51. And he's in worst biorhythm, and you're both in best biorhythm! That's actually really terrible. I could actually lose this right here, because VOLUG might die. I probably should have had him use the vulnerary. That was stupid. Okay then, I am scared now. It's not like I can actually move Micaiah into range to give them a more tempting target. Okay. This could be a problem. Let's just finish you off. In times like this, when luring the boss to end this chapter early can help. I mean, if you lure him with Tyranniu, he's pretty much guaranteed to die on the enemy phase. So that's an emergency option if you need one. Alright, let me quickly check your movement ranges. They're all pretty wide. But all of you... There aren't any Axe Cavaliers among you either, probably because they sent all of the Axe Cavaliers up the other direction. Quickly checking something. Okay, that should be okay. And that also isn't a guaranteed kill. I think for now I should, except wait, no, I need to kill you off, otherwise Laura will be in trouble. So, in fact, I might have to do this. As I said in this bio, I don't like to have Tyranniu kill things unless I have no choice. In this case, I probably have no choice, and I'm missing a lot of 7s lately. Well, that's not going to miss, though. I kind of reminds me of Gatry's Lunar animation back in FE, well, FE9, back in Pocket Radiant. I almost said FE7 for a second there. Oh wait, Ballista can actually shoot there, so I need to heal Jill from below. And I just have to really, really, really hope that VOLUG doesn't die, because that would be really embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassing, why did you even bother attacking me? And really speaking of embarrassing, why did you do that at all? That is probably the dumbest thing you can ever do. Because Tyranniu at this point in the game is broken. In fact, I hope they don't all attack him. They're all going to attack him, aren't they? I feel like I needed to do this, though, because of, to protect Mora, but yeah. At this point, I'm kind of hoping his Javelin breaks. Just because I don't want him soaking up all his experience. Yeah, this is a lot of enemies he's going to be killing. And you join a prestigious club of people who can actually damage Tyranniu, but now you're dead. Yeah, they can all get to him. They're all dead. Yes, we got to see a bit of why Tyranniu was amazingly broken in this chapter. But I said this chapter, not this point in the game, because this is the only chapter he's useful for in Part 1. Because it's literally the only chapter you can use him in. It's technically 2 chapters, but yeah. All that potential experience for Aaron and Jill gone. Although, this does mean this chapter is going to get a lot less crowded, so I can focus on the boss next turn, if VOLUG survives. However, the enemies, like the enemy AI could be stupid, let's see. He's also in a thicket, so that is +1 defense. They're stupid, good, I'm fine. Lower defense seems to trump a potential kill in this situation. And once again, high ballista. I'm not really too scared of you at this point. Oh, more things are going to suicide into Toronyu. Great. This is probably more case in point of why I don't like having Toronyu fight things at this point, because it's very easy for him getting into range of one enemy to quickly snowball into everything dying. Yeah, they're all just going to huddle down here now. At least all the NPCs survived. Okay, we have two of them, and I think I'll go for Edward and Nolan beating them, but let's just quickly see. So there's that guy, there's the boss. Not really sure who's gonna... Maybe Jill will kill the boss, even though she, like, Edward needs experience more. Finish you off. Unlike all those enemies that attack Toronyu, you actually give experience. Getting closer. Getting much closer to actually capping things. And I guess you can finish this guy. On hard mode, you will not be this high level because the enemies give way less experience. At this point in my hard file, I know I say that a lot, but Edward was really struggling here. He could only one-round kill mages, which was pretty sad. I guess I could lure the boss this way if I really wanted to. But, like I said, I kind of wanted Jill to kill the boss. Though Aaron needs the experience a little bit here. Let's just see if I can... that's a wind edge, but nothing else can... I just realized something else can attack Ileana, and that's the ballista. So I should probably rescue her now. And she missed any... What the heck is up with my hit rates these last few turns? Well, at least she dodged. And that's a prime example of why you always need to focus in this game, because if you let your guard down, at any point, people will die. In that case, I forgot for a second that the ballista would be able to attack Ileana. Unless the ballista's out of ammo, but it's probably not. I kind of thought that would happen. So, this guy is dead. Not a critical for good measure, though. It would have been funny if he got a critical there. Oh, that's S, not SS. But yeah, I might have mentioned this in Zehawk's bio, but... it's got 2 remaining, okay. Oh, and Ileana's just out of range anyway. I might have mentioned this in Zehawk's bio, but... for some reason, male swordmasters can reach an SS rank in swords in this game, but females can't. They have to wait until 3rd tier. And I think the reason for that is that they originally planned on not Zehawk, but Stefan joining you as the Part 1 Swordmaster. I mean, you'd be in a desert, so it would make sense. But that's what I feel is the reason why male Swordmasters can get an SS in swords in this game and females can't. But something that I did allude to in Path of Radiance is that, female swordmasters actually do have something going for them in this game compared to males, and that's they have a much higher, well not much higher, but 5 points higher luck cap. So they dodge tank better. Was always kind of an issue with female swordmasters in a lot of Fire Emblem games, is that usually female variants of classes have lower strength and defense caps, but better, speed caps, but of course swordmasters cap their speed at 30 anyway, so they couldn't make the speed cap any higher, so all female swordmasters get is a couple of extra points of resistance, which doesn't really matter. And yeah. You know, now that I think about it, I might actually try luring this guy with Aaron. Yeah, Edward's level 16. He's a little bit behind the others. And I would also kind of like Micaiah to get the boss kill as well. So let's actually, for now, try and lure that guy with Nolan. And Aaron can just whack this priest to finish off his level up. If that wasn't doubling, I would have been very disappointed. We can finally get to see a priest to a staff counter, though. Bonk! And nothing. That's doing pretty well. And I just need to, I mean, I could do that, but then Jill would not be able to canter away from other things. Let's finish you off, though. Against non-Thunder Mages, and later in the game against Thunder Mages, because Thunder Mages is terrible, but at this point Thunder Mages are a bit of a threat to her. But non-Thunder Mages, Jill has pretty good resistance for a Wyvern Rider, so she's pretty good against them. Jill in this game is basically a Pegasus Knight who rides a Wyvern. I mean, in some ways, she kind of fulfills the role of the Sheeta archetype here, except she's not a loving of the Main Lord, but she does kind of fulfill the Sheeta role here. And I kind of, yeah. But yeah, being that early game flyer who's amazing and mainly specializes in speed and luck. But it is kind of a twist that it's a Wyvern Rider. I still really wanted to... If I made a Fire Emblem fan game, I'd actually have it so that the country that you start with is actually the Wyvern Rider country, and the Jagan being a Wyvern Lord would probably be a bit broken now I think about it. But and that instead of red and green Cavaliers, you get red and green Wyvern Riders. And then the enemy country would be the one that specializes in Pegasus Knights. I also... Here's another thing that I really want to do. I also want to have a princess as the big bad. Because... the stupid boss didn't move. Because you see a lot of evil princes in media, you almost never see... I've probably gone into this issue before, but you almost never see an evil princess. Like, they can be stuck-up vain princesses, but rarely is there an outright evil princess in anything. So, like, having, like, a, mad princess or something like that, you know, kind of like, there's a... You know, like, Mad King equivalent would... I don't know, in my opinion, it would be kind of unique. So I would kind of like to have that in a Fire Emblem game. I had this one idea for, I know I'm kind of going on tangents here and not going on the tangent I actually promised to go on, but I had one idea for a Fire Emblem game that was, just realized that if Micaiah goes there, the boss will be able to attack her with that javelin, and that will mean that she probably dies, so let's not do that. But I had one idea, I think, for a Fire Emblem fan game where it would be set in the genealogy universe and the main character would be like a former WoLKE tier member. That sounds a little bit cliched though, because everyone loves doing the misunderstood member of a villain faction who's all angsty and yeah. And now that I realise that that's pretty much Robin as well. I had that idea long before Awakening, so yeah, Robin pretty much is that. It's funny, I also had the idea for an actual combat tactician class, and then Awakening happened. Also, like a hybrid sword / magic class that doesn't suck, and that was also Robin in Awakening. And then... Actually, let's see. I mean, I'm okay with this guy being lured either to Jill or to Nolan. And I'm definitely giving Jill the Seraph Robe next base. One other idea I had for a potential Fire Emblem fan game, and I mean, I've heard that Strategy RPG Maker is going to come out in English, so I guess I can try and use that to make something, I don't know, but another potential idea that I had was, oh, that's another thing that I want. I also want a Mage Lord like Micaiah who doesn't suck, like, as in actually having speed. But the other idea I had was a Bishop Jagan. Because not only has that never been done before in the series, but it would also mean that they'd still have a use staff botting even after their growth's dropped off. But again, that might be too broken. I'm not sure. But like Bishop Jagan is another idea that I kind of want to do. But I still really like the idea of having a princess as the big bad. Maybe as some kind of dark flyer class as well. Like just go full on with the we've never had Pegasus Knights be really evil before. Because now I think about it, I don't think there has ever been a non-promoted Pegasus Knight as a boss in the series. Finally, you do that. You pretentious little fools. I'll show you how insignificant you are. Witness Bedmion's might. Alright, this guy has cancel, so yeah, that's why you saw Nile activate there. Forgot to talk about that earlier. And no one else moved. Okay, so this chapter's going to be over now. And Aaron can finish off that guy. Jill can get rid of this ballista just as payback for the ballista being annoying for this chapter. Or not. Maybe it's better that Jill attacks this guy. I don't like having to waste Wormclaw so much, but why are you not gaining strength? A lot of people use their energy drop on Jill, and that's probably recommended. There we go. But anyway, just have a few ideas for possible, I don't know. If I do ever make a fan game, I probably want to do my Ace Attorney fan game idea before I do my Fire Emblem fan game idea. I do have 5 cases basically planned out for an Ace Attorney fan game. Of course, the thing about an Ace Attorney fan game is I can't actually explain anything that I want to do with it because that would immediately be spoilers. Yeah, see, that's why I didn't want this guy to fight Micaiah. But if I have Soph in range of him, I mean, I could add insult to injury and just steal Paragon now and not even have to kill him for it, but no, let's just have Soph go here. Might as well at least get Soph a little bit of experience. No unique quote for Soph, though. I forget if this guy has a unique quote with Fiona, like in case he somehow attacks her. He might, I'm not sure. Nolan is almost leveled up though. Let's just get a little bit of staff experience. Oh, I should probably try and get the Master Seal before we go. So it's like around this area, I think, so if I don't get it, it's not the end of the world. Actually, Toronio and Zehawk have the best chance of finding it by far. No, and yes, got it. Good. Now I can safely end this chapter. The question is, who do I end it with? I guess I can have Nolan get a little bit of experience here. This might push him over the edge of a level up. Cancel is not going to help if Micaiah can kill him before it activates, so not too worried about that. I mean, I guess I technically could have VOLUG get a little bit of free experience here, but I think this guy has a unique quote against VOLUG. I mean, I know that a lot of the early game bosses do, because they're like, ah, filthy subhuman. But yeah. I forgot about that. I love this. I love that boss conversation because it's just like, he has no retort at all. It's just like, shut up. Yeah. I forgot how great that was. He's like, I have no comeback. You disgust me. And there's Paragon, claimed by one of the few people who can use it in Part 1. And fortunately, everyone's safe now. One Murado Knight died, but we did at least save all of the civilians. And here's Fiona. Forgot that she didn't join in this map, so I'm gonna have to do her bio in the next parts. And this is interesting. I actually mentioned this back in my Path of Radiance playthrough. So, who the heck is Lan Vega? So, this is the previous 4 riders. So, otherwise known as the 4 Great Riders or 4 Steadfast Riders, they're a bit inconsistent of how they translate it. But Toronyu was a member of them, and Bryce was the only one to have served in both groups of 4 riders. And Lanvega, we have no idea what he looked like. He doesn't even get a portrait. He does appear in the character tree, and Swordsman, interesting. So, maybe he was a Sword Paladin? I kind of wish we'd found out more about him. Or that we at least had a portrait, because, yeah. Again, he's not even in the character... Well, he's in the character tree, but he doesn't even have a portrait. And, yeah, he gave up his title. That's why we didn't see him in the last game. So, yeah, Bryce knew that, and Bryce still served him. What does that tell you about Bryce? Well, I mean, if you'd sent your people, they would have all died, so... To Ike... Well, at least this means that an actual province is on our side, then. And unfortunately, this isn't as good of a thing as you'd probably think. Meanwhile, back in the obviously evil-looking castle that is still being inhabited by obviously evil people, including this guy. And I'm not just talking about Jarod. This is one of the senators who didn't cameo in Path of Radiance, and he's one of the most unsubtle senators in this game. You can tell by the fact that he has a Hitler moustache. Path of Radiance implied, though, that he has spies everywhere, so maybe he already knows. Yes, of course you've been nothing but fair and just in your rule. I like how the villains are acknowledging that the moment that word of what they've been doing in Dayan spreads to Benyon, they're pretty much screwed. And with that, we get the bonus experience from both chapters, so they both count as separate maps, and holy crap, that's a lot of bonus experience, so it's about now that you start having the bonus experience to actually consider leveling up people with it, because it costs a lot more to level up in this game. But this counts both parts of Raise the Standard. They both have their own separate turn bonuses, but the second part has more bonus experience for the Murado army surviving and the prisoners. So with that, next time we'll move on to our next destination as the Rebel Army.